This is Jared Axelrod, and you are listening to the voice of Free Planet X.
You do realize you're an inventor who sails through time in the company of a vampire and a man with super strength, right?
And a young girl genius and a French pilot who is also a chef. I fail to see what my life has to do with science fiction.
Far and few are the lands where the jumblies live.
It's like a legendary boarding house owner here in Boston.
God, I remember the ads. It's about the meteor, isn't it?
I don't see how.
Wake up. Everything is about the meteor these days.
Amelia,
the woman, she's
effective
a
young
force
girl
symbol.
detective, knew that she had to work fast. She pocketed some cheese, her skeleton keys,
was done to
and
make
her
the metal
best
monstrosity look
magnifying
like anything
glass.
other than the heavily armed coffin it was. It towered over the edge of the city.
The voice of Free Planet X.
This is still Jared Axelrod. What you heard is a smattering of audio from my podcast, The Voice of Free Planet X. I started The Voice of Free Planet X back in 2005 when I was a young t-shirted hotshot as opposed to the besuited hotshot I am today. The Voice of Free Planet X is an anthology podcast. It's made up of short stories written by me. It's mostly science fiction, but there's some fantasy and other weird detours in there as well. The Voice of Free Planet X went on a more or less weekly schedule until 2008, when I took it daily, added music episodes and interviews, and nearly drove myself insane. I ended the podcast with episode 160 and focused on writing and producing other things. Things like The Battle of Blood and Ink, a graphic novel I did with my friend Steve Walker that was published by Tor Books. I also did a companion podcast to it, Fables of the Flying City. I also did a webcomic Ask Comrade Cockroach, which then became Comrade Cockroach Adventures, about a D-list supervillain. I liked that character so much I did some short stories, The Cockroach Strikes and The Cockroach Falls, with the same guy. I kickstarted those stories and garnered several times my expected goal. I did a few Voice of Free Planet X stories as a promotion for that Kickstarter, and it just reminded me how much I loved that podcast. But I didn't just want to do the Voice of Free Planet X the way I'd done it before. I want to do more. And you can help me with that. Patreon is a service that allows you to support the Voice of Free Planet X per episode, meaning you only pay for what you get, and are only charged if I keep up my end of the bargain and keep making episodes. The podcast is always going to be free, but if you choose to support it, you'll have access to behind-the-scenes info, have a say on what stories are coming up, and get cool swag like stickers, t-shirts, and postcards with one-of-a-kind stories on them. With your help, I can upgrade my equipment, produce longer episodes, commission story-specific art and music, and hold full cast audio drama recordings with professional actors. Everybody wins! The Voice of Free Planet X started with a short episode entitled Built to Last. Together, we can make that true.